Okay, so now I want to animate something coming onto the stage. If I look here, this is the time of the composition. So for example, if I set it to 5, it means that my movie time, whenever I render it, is going to be 5 seconds. Even though the actual movie is more, it's around, if I go here, it's around 11 seconds, 13 frames. That's the length of the movie. But the length of what I want to produce out of this, my final movie, is this. So I can just give it whatever time I like. Okay, so let's go to 10 seconds, for example. So my movie, whenever I produce it, is going to be 10 seconds. All right, so anyway, here I have a movie which is called Lake. In case I want to change the name, I can select it and press enter and call it just Lake instead of Lake.wmv. And then I go to transform, and the first thing I want to animate is the position. Now, whenever you want to animate a parameter, any value in After Effects, all you have to do is click on the stopwatch over here, and now this parameter is animatable. So, which means that I will be recording the actions that I'm going to do in case I change the time and I change the value. So, here, if I look also, I have a keyframe added. If I uncheck, the keyframe goes away. The keyframe is a recording of the parameter at this time. The parameter is the position in this case. If I had scale, I'd be recording the scale in time and so forth. So I'll start with position. At the beginning, I want the position to be outside, so I'll just drag this out at the beginning, and let's record. So I'm going to click here. Remember, you click on the stopwatch to start the recording, but if you unclick it, you remove any animation that you added. So do not click it again, because if you do click it again, any animation that you did will be removed. So just click it once to turn it on, and that's it. So let's put the movie outside at the beginning. So let's say -360, for example. And then after, let's say, 2 seconds, if I look here, I see that after 2 seconds, I want it to come in. So that's 360. So now I see that I have this line. This is the line of the path of motion of my movie. Right? It started outside and then it goes inside. So if I scrub the time, I see that it's actually moving inside. Why did I have an animation? Because at the beginning, I clicked on the stopwatch. And by clicking on the stopwatch for position, it means that you are recording now the position. If I click on the stopwatch for rotation, it means that I'm recording the rotation and so forth. So now, this took 2 seconds to come in. Let's give it some rotation as well. So I'm going to click on the stopwatch for rotation. So now this is going to be animatable. And I'll go also to 2 seconds, just like the position. And let's give this a rotation. Let's give it 360 degrees. You know that 360 degrees are one full circle. So it goes back to the original orientation, but in the meantime it would have rotated. So I'll scrub back now and forth, and I will see that the movie is coming and rotating at the same time and playing. In case I didn't want it to play while it comes, I would have to use an image instead of a movie and use that. But otherwise, that's it. Let's also animate the scale. So at 2 seconds, which is here, the scale should be 120%, so I record. So I have a keyframe at 2 seconds. But at the beginning, I want it to be small, so that it comes in and expands. So small, expands, and rotates, and moves. So I animated 3 things. So if I go to the beginning, I will reduce the scale, say to 50%. So it starts at 50 and finishes at 100. All right. Maybe at the beginning, I don't want it to be outside. I'm going to place it maybe up here. I can do that at the beginning. So now, I will get this effect. And maybe I want it to be even smaller at the beginning. So I can press Shift and scale down. And maybe I'll place it there. So I can do whatever I like. So now, that's the effect that I have. So if I go to my RAM preview here, that's the effect. So you see that very easily you can create these effects just by recording the parameters that you are using, which is in this case position, scale, and rotation.